we can race 2 different shoes and we can do some color commentary in the back. Here they come around the corner, the StealthFit. So there's a reason why there's a number 20 on this shoe. There's a 20 here, there's a 20 there, there's a 20 here. It's because it's worked for a really long time for a lot of people. And honestly, Brooks just keeps making it better. So just a quick disclaimer before we get into it. I do work for REI and these shoes were provided for review, but the opinions I'm going to be expressing are solely based on my experience in the shoes. So this is the Brooks Glycerin StealthFit 20. These shoes are coming in at 9.4 ounces per shoe. There's 26 millimeters of stack height in the heel and 16 millimeters of stack height up front, giving you a 10 millimeter drop throughout the shoe. So far I've only put about 15 miles on this shoe. I've actually never run consistently in a pair of Glycerins before, so I was really excited to see what they felt like. And you know, it's been consistently comfortable. I'm pretty excited about it so far. This is the 20th version StealthFit, but there's a 20th version regular fit, secure fit. I don't know what we're calling that. Non-stealth. Apparent. Yeah. So I think the reason that the Glycerin has been around for, 20 different iterations is because it's always been true to the cushion story that it tells. The Glycerin is really the shoe for folks that are looking for comfort through their runs, that are looking to put lots of miles in their training plans, that are just looking for that consistent feel underfoot over and over again. And the Glycerin continues to be that shoe that says like, hey, I can do that and I can do that really well and I can do that for lots of miles. So if you have a shoe like that and people are like, we dig that, and you're like, okay, we'll make it again. And they've been doing that for over 20 years, which is pretty far out. So we'll start with the upper, which is what gives this model its specific name of that StealthFit. And really that's more of like that sock-like construction that you may have seen in some other running shoes. It's got that stretchy kind of knit upper and it's just that one piece kind of like sock construction. It gives you lots of room. You can see that it moves around. It's quite malleable in there. So that's kind of nice if you like a little bit more of that room. You can also see that you can't see my hand through there at all. It's a little bit more of a thicker upper, which is going to add to that comfort, but it's not going to be the most breathable. If we move back towards the shoe, we can see the heel counter. There's actually a little bit more structure there when I'm squeezing it. It doesn't just collapse on itself, but it's not super rigid. So it's kind of like in between there. So the exciting part of most shoes is actually in the midsole. It's that kind of hidden part that you can't quite see. Here it's called out DNA LOFT version 3. It's even called out right here what they do to it. It's nitrogen injected. So all these kind of like little silhouettes of the bubbles that you see, to me, that's just like that imagery of injecting that nitrogen into that foam and really giving it that perfect balance of like that sink into the spring, giving it that consistent feeling. What I think is rad about the DNA LOFT version 3 is that it truly makes a shoe like the Caldera, which I actually, have been spending some time in and I've saved a lot. So you can see down here that DNA LOFT version 3, nitrogen injected. This is the 20th version of the Glycerin, so this has been around for a long time. And the research devoted into making this midsole possible is basically what leads to this, which is only on the 6th version of the Caldera, and truly makes this Caldera like an ultra running shoe that you can put lots of miles in and expect that, consistent, reliable cushioning. Whatever consistency you're looking for, you'll get out of the DNA LOFT, whether you're on the road or you're on the trail. The thing that I think is interesting with the Glycerin's cushion story is that it just isn't like sinking into that cushion. It just isn't that like squish feel that I know when I think I want to be comfortable. I'm like, okay, my feet want to do this, they want to do that, but they don't really want to do that. They just want to be supported, spring back up, but like slowly spring. And maybe it's these bubbles. I mean, they got me fooled. Maybe they convinced me, but that's how I feel. They're just like, they just come right back up. A shoe like this, even the way the midsole looks, it's like, hey, it's not soft. It's gonna give you a little bit of that spring. And I think like finding that perfect balance is something that Brooks does really well. And so if you're looking for a shoe that's like cushion equals soft, that's not necessarily what you're getting in here. But if you're looking for like cushion equals reliability, it equals comfort, and it equals that perfect balance of squish and spring, I think they do that pretty well with this new DNA compound. So if you're looking for a daily trainer, looking for a little bit more cushion, but not sacrificing that form or not getting too squishy, I think the Glycerin is a pretty good option for you. So that's my review of the Brooks Glycerin StealthFit 20. But I'd love to hear from you all. Are you a longtime Glycerin fan? What do you think of the StealthFit? What do you like to log most of your running miles in? Leave a comment below. I'd love to read them. I wonder if you say like, do you have a favorite version of the glycerin?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, bring back the 16. 9 or go home.